Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. In this episode, I want to show you a quick tip on how to use the X mirror modifier when I'm doing editing, right? So typically you can do the mirror modifier, but in this what I want to do is I want to show you X symmetry as I'm editing. So I'm going to give you a little practical example. I'm going to do Control 2 and I'm going to make the subdivision surface modifier here. So we're going to apply that. Okay, here we go. So now I've applied that. Alright, so now I have all these vertices I can work with. I'm going to change to wireframe display. And then I'm going to get rid of all these vertices by pressing X, V. So now I'm going to take C to do the paint select or circle select. And then I'm going to do Shift S, cursor to selected. And then I'm going to deselect that by clicking out here somewhere. And then I'm going to hit the period. I'm going to go to 3D cursor so that I have my pivot point on that 3D cursor. Now I want to take these items and I'll rotate them like so. Same thing here. I'm going to take all these, I'm going to rotate these. Okay? And then right now I've got like kind of a character mouth. I just want to stick to that. Now what I want to show you is that on my tool, I can go to my options, and as I pull that down, so I press N to pull that out, right? As I go to transform, I can do mirror X. Now, I just have this vertex selected and not this one. But as I press the G, you'll notice that the other side is moving with it. Pretty cool, isn't it? Something I wish I'd known a long time ago. But here we have it, right? And I can do the same thing here. I press O to get my proportional editing. Okay. And then it also takes into account the proportional editing as well. So now I can start cutting more edge loops by pressing Control R. Okay, and then I can keep this symmetry on, or I can just select the entire loop, right? But as it's doing this, it gets all that correction and everything, makes it super easy for editing. So, got this really cool stuff that you can do with it, right? Now, I also want to deselect this. I'm going to close this right here. So I'll do Control E, bridge edge loops, and then I'm going to make an edge loop cover right here. I'll just pull that forward a little bit. Now, I will say that if you're trying to fill in these edges, you're not going to get symmetry this way, okay? So that is something you need to know as you're doing this stuff. But once you get it filled in, then you can edit it and those vertices go as if they were symmetrical, because they are, right? So with that, I can kind of pull this in, and then I can add more. But it's a really cool way to be able to get a little bit of symmetry without having to use a mirror modifier. So you actually have physical geometry that you can play with. So it has its advantages and its disadvantages. So, and then another cool thing about it is also that as you're doing this editing, it does take into account that it automatically clips these middle vertices. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I press the G. Really cool tip there. Then you can do that. So this is something that I learned off of another video as I was just kind of doing like some topology. So it's kind of some fun stuff, you know? And then I can take these, put those in. So anyway, just something as kind of a cool, fascinating, quick tip for you. So let me know what you thought of this video in the comments. Make sure that you put a like and a subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thank you so much for watching Nathan's 3D Factory. Have a great day, guys.